So, Path of Exile 2 0.3. 0.3 is a huge step in the right direction. With GGG adding Act 4 as well as the interlude acts and sprinting has made the campaign feel so much smoother in my opinion. They also reworked a lot of the crafting currencies, allowing people to finally craft good items instead of just gambling hoping to hit the right affixes and tiers. Now, with the reworked essences, new omens, tiered currencies, and the abyss currencies, it is actually finally possible to make good gear. In the future, this is just going to keep improving as they add more mechanics to the game. So, they fixed the really big issue with the game feeling like a slog, as Jonathan said, but there are still issues which they will be addressing in later patches. These issues are mostly what I think the game needs improving, but I also want to give my ideas to just throw them out there. I am no game developer, but any idea could help them with a better solution to these problems. Okay, so the first issue I've noticed is that for an average casual player with under 100 hours, the game feels bad in the early game, like probably around the first half of Act 1. New or casual players usually don't know what is good, so they end up dealing no damage and dying a lot. I feel like this issue stems from some of the monsters, especially early and excluding the bosses, having an unintended amount of health. So instead of trying to buff everyone, maybe reduce the overall amount of health some monsters may have just in the first half of Act 1. An example of this is the Vile Hags in Clearfell. A monster that summons should not have that much health early. Especially with the amount of damage, a lot of the skills only do that early in the game. It's the reason why most casual players and new players choose any skill, realize that the monsters are taking no damage, they look up what is good and then they start using the meta skills during the campaign. Because the only way to actually do damage that early to those certain mobs is by using the most unbalanced skill at the time. Now again, this could just be a skill balancing issue on their end, but it could also be the amount of health that these mobs have that early. After the first half of Act 1, it feels much better, but it's just that start that feels bad and needs to be addressed. And also, for a lot of players trying something unique or testing non-meta builds and systems, most of the time get absolutely destroyed and do practically no damage. Again, this is just a balancing issue. This specific issue has been addressed heavily in 0.3, but it is still a problem. It will get fixed and a lot of the balancing patches will improve on this. Another problem are the downsides. For a lot of things in the game, this affects the player experience and ruins the progression feel for your character. A lot of the downsides in this game just need to be nerfed or removed. Yes, I know some of the downsides aren't that bad, but I'm talking about the big outliers, like some nodes on the passive skill tree as well as a lot of the support gems. Downsides are okay, but not when the downside just outright removes that feel of upgrading your character or just makes it outright impossible to use for your build. I feel like most of the time, whenever you add something to your character, it should feel like an upgrade. An example of a bad downside is the Brutality support gem, which reads, supported skills deal 25% more physical damage, which is good, but then the downside reads, supported skills deal no chaos damage and supported skills deal no elemental damage. The downsides to this support gem literally cut it out of any build that does elemental damage or chaos damage. I feel like this specific support gem could actually instead nerf the chaos and elemental damage that you do instead of removing it entirely. That's just one example. Some uniques have this as well, which to me is worse because not only are you sacrificing that gear slot from better modifiers, but you're also getting that downside as well. It just feels bad and a lot of the times it's not worth using them. It's the reason why a lot of the uniques in my opinion are actually useless for most builds. Now hopefully GGG does address this because it does feel bad most of the time, adding something to your character which should be an upgrade only to realize it's actually better not to use it, unfortunately. Now the rest of the problems I've had were echoed by a lot of the other creators, so I won't delve into those, but if you also agree with me or you think there could be a better solution to some of these problems, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe as it helps me a lot. My channel has some guides which would be helpful for newer players, so check them out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.